Hey man, how are you doing? It's been a while since one of my last videos, and I'm happy to be back. I'm glad to be back here. I've been living my life. I've been doing my own things, and it's been nice. I think it's been nice overall. I've had shittier episodes every once in a while, but overall life has been good. And just wanted to talk about something that has happened recently and about some things that I've heard and how they, I guess, they really come to be true in my life. So I was listening to this one podcast a few days ago, like a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, yeah, with Dakota Meyer and Jocko Willink. It's like, I don't know, it's just a normal podcast. This guy was talking about his military service and what he was doing with his life and with his family and so on and so forth. And at some point in this entire conversation, he just mentioned this one quote. I guess I guess it's a lesson of life that in order for something to live, something must die. And he mentioned that in the context of his time in Afghanistan when he and his squad mates were on a mission, and sadly he was the only one that came out alive, and the rest of his friends, they all died. They were all left back there, and he lived a lot of the time after he came back home with the guilt, with the anger that he wasn't with them, that if the chance came, he would certainly give up his life in order for one of his friends, so they would come back and live for him. But he realized that that cannot happen. He realized that he was the only one that came back home alive, and he had his own family, he had his own children, and it was his time to live his own life, to make do with what he was given, and to accept the fact that it would be disrespectful and disheartening for his squad mates, his friends who are dead, to see him living his life the way he was living it, in this constant state of regret, of pain, of anger, of confusion, of disillusion. And so, what he chose to do is he chose to live for them. He realized that in order for something to live, something must die. And in this scenario, it was in order for him to continue living his life and to live it to the best of his abilities, and to be able to commemorate and bring honor to the names and to the memory of those people who had died on that day. He had to do whatever he had to do to respect that. I don't know, to honor them. And he chose to live his life, and he chose to do great things along the way, and he achieved a lot more than most of us have or ever will. And it's a very interesting idea, I guess. That's what I've been thinking about. In order for something to live, something must die. And he used that same lesson, same, I don't know, structure in different scenarios of his life, where he realized that in order for a better part of him to come out, an old one had to die. And I guess it really relates to the entire idea of making yourself a better human being for the people that you love, for yourself, and trying to live a better life. You know, in order for something to live, something must die. In order for you to cultivate a better life for yourself, to, I don't know, think a different way, to be healthier, to have a healthier body, to look better, to feel better, to do anything, the past must die, and you must let it go. You must bury it and accept it as what it is, the past, and accept the fact that there will be things that won't serve you, and there will be things that even you will think are important, and you've lived an entire life with the illusion that they mean something to you that they actually don't. And you understand that in order for you to be able to live your true life, to live your true dreams, I guess, and to exist the way that you truly want to exist, you will have to kill the things inside you which stop you from doing that. And those might be your pains, your doubts, your regrets, your fears, your insecurities, your arrogance, your ego, your selfishness, your pride, whatever it might be. I don't exactly know what that means right now. To be frank, I don't. If I would have, I maybe some things would have already changed, but I guess slowly but surely I'm making sense of that. Making sense of it. And I don't know. I maybe it's a coincidence, but I really don't really believe in coincidences anymore. I don't know why I've gotten to the point where coincidences don't really seem like like viable to me anymore. A few days ago, the mother of one of our family friends, of one of our really good family friends, died. She died at a very old age, and she lived a full life, and she left behind a legacy of love and of joy and energy for life, and I don't know, just overall gratitude for life. That's how I remembered her in her last years. I just saw her and I just realized, if this woman in her so old, she can barely walk properly, she can barely do all of these things properly. She is so full of life, she's full of joy, she experiments, she travels, she tries her best, to be cheerful, to be happy, to spend time with her loved ones. It's like, then what excuse do I have? What's my excuse? Why can I not try to be a little bit more cheerful, a little bit more joyful, a little bit more understanding and loving to the people around me? And a few days ago, after that, I guess maybe 2 or 3 days later, I found out that one of my friends' wife is pregnant, and soon enough they're gonna have their first child. And at the moment, I didn't realize. I was just happy. I was so happy to hear that. I congratulated my friend. I hugged him, and I felt really happy for him. I mean, I'm still happy for him, of course, but I realized that, in a weird way, it just comes back to that in order for something to live, something must die. I mean, you could say, yeah, it was just chance. That this woman died when she died, and this baby is starting to be alive. I guess it's maybe it is a coincidence, right? Maybe it's just like that. But to be honest, so many things have happened in my life where I've just come to the conclusion that coincidences don't really exist anymore. They're just they're just our way of trying to deal with what might be happening. You can take me I don't know, you can take me seriously, you don't have to, you can do whatever you want with this information, right? If you don't like it, you don't have to keep watching the video, but if it's something that, I don't know, you relate to, then yeah, I guess it might be something. I guess it might be the real deal. for such a long time I didn't believe in them either. I didn't believe in coincidences. I just didn't even think about them. I just just wrote it off as just some random shit. Then things started happening, and like the most little things just started being so weird that they align in such a weird way, in such a strange way. It's like there's an algorithm somewhere out there making work of everything, and it's impossible to understand it properly, but it is there. And the second you come a little bit to terms with it and you understand that it might exist, I don't know, it just starts setting itself in place. It's not that I'm just starting to just be like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna start believing it because why not? you know I guess I'm a very skeptical person, and I still am sometimes about everything. I still am. I'm very skeptical. I've grown to be like that. I've lived like that. My I wouldn't say my family is that religious, all of it. Like it's like half and half. Some people, they don't believe at all. They think it's bullshit, and some people, they believe. But I guess I'm in the middle somewhere. um, I've grown to I've grown to live with the skepticism of everything, and at the same time, I've grown to accept that some people, they have this faith, and it actually stands out sometimes. And I guess I'm in the middle right now. But one thing is clear: I don't think coincidences really exist anymore. And I guess this was just like my personal example of this one life lesson that this guy learned. But I guess it's applicable. It's universal. In anything you say or do, in anything you want to do with your future, you will need to um, let something go in order to achieve something else. That's what you do every single day when you choose this over that. When you make a decision, when you decide between two things or something like that, it's always letting one thing go in in favor of the other. You're just making this one thing, but in like with more grander things like life and life paths and choices and lifestyle and beliefs and everything. I guess it's also applicable. When you think of it that way, you need, I guess it makes the whole burden of letting go of something that might not be you're not sure that it might be suitable for you anymore. It makes the whole thing better, makes it easier because you understand it. It's like a principle that if you want to achieve something else, then you will have to let something go, and maybe you know what that is. And if you don't, then at least now you understand that you have to might be you should look for something, and you'll soon find it. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea. I wanted to talk to this yesterday. I wanted to talk about this with my girlfriend yesterday, but just when I just started the subject, she was like, "Bro, stop! You are thinking about death and everything's way too much." And I guess maybe I am. Maybe I am a little bit weird in that sense that I think about death a lot. And she tells me like almost every single time when we meet and we talk, it's like somehow I manage to bring up death, and she hates it. I guess she doesn't like thinking about it, and that's understandable. I mean, sometimes I have my own existential dread, and it's fucking terrifying. Sometimes I feel at peace, like maybe right now, but sometimes I just feel so terrified I cannot even express it. I don't know. Maybe this is just one of those weird days for me, but I guess there's some sort of benefit in thinking about death and realizing it. If you look at it the right way, it's just a reminder that you should live your life, that you should smile, that you should be happy with everything that you have, because one day it won't be there anymore. One day something will die in order for something else to be born, in order for something else to live. I will miss this lady who died. I will miss her very much. She taught me a lot of things, of which I told you. I am very sorry for the people who have to live with that, who have to go with the pain and loss of this person, who have to live with that every day. But I know that in her heart, she wouldn't wish it upon anyone to mourn her more than they should. She wouldn't wish anyone to grieve more than they should. She would wish for them to live their best life and to make way for the future. Make way for the future people who will live when we will die. When we will die in order for them to be born. She would want us to make a better place for them. So I guess that's what we should do. I guess that's what my overall life purpose is to just make this world a better place for the people who will come. When this guy told me that he might be a dad soon, I really hope so. I just started getting excited for myself too. I mean, I'm only 19. I just turned 19 like a few weeks ago. But it's so interesting, man. Like I'm actually excited to be a father at some point in my life. I'm really excited. I mean, I know that I am not the most trustable person right now. I know that I'm not the most consistent person. I know that I'm not the most fit person to be a dad, but I am really excited to go on that journey, I guess, and to become that person. So that one day, I can have my own kid and I can have my own children and, I don't know, see life through a different lens. Yeah. I guess that's all I have to say for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will have a wonderful day. And keep that in mind. Maybe keep this conversation, just me babbling on for 17 minutes about some shit. Keep it in mind. Maybe, it will help you at some point. If not, I'm sorry for wasting your time. All right, bro. Cheers. Have a nice one. Goodbye.